Just make sure this works. All right, good afternoon. We will call the January 11th session into order. Welcome, Planning Commission members, staff, and guests. Multiple members are here today to ensure that the meeting runs smoothly and all applicants and members of the public are able to participate in the meeting at the appropriate times.
If you are here today and would like to speak about a case, please provide your name clearly into the microphone, and please be sure to sign in either at the back of the room or at the podium for documentation purposes. If you're here today to speak about a case, you must speak up when the chairperson calls for public comment. And I'll go ahead and call the roll. Mr. Causey? Mr. Cone?
Here.
Ms. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Harp?
Here.
Mr. Osorio?
Here.
And Ms. Thomas?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Brief meeting overview format. Applicants with requests before the Planning Commission are allotted a presentation time of 10 minutes. This time should include, but is not limited to, an overview of the project, case history, and any pertinent meetings held regarding the request. This time also includes all persons presenting information on behalf of the applicant, such as attorneys, engineers, and architects. This time limit does not include any questions asked by the Planning Commission or staff regarding request. During the public comment period, members of the general public are given the opportunity to address their concerns in intervals of 2 minutes. After the public comment period, applicants have 5 minutes to respond. The administrator has a timer and will make the presenters aware when their time has expired. The Planning Commission reserves the right to amend these procedures on a case-by-case basis. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There's been one change since publication. Case number 7, which is under major site plan review, which is S-Plan-2023-0017 for 802 Percival Road. This is a request for a major site plan approval for Addison Point. This has been deferred. Otherwise, the agenda stands.
The Planning Commission uses the consent agenda to approve non-controversial or routine matters by a single motion and vote. Examples of such items include approval of site plans, annexations, and street names. If a member of the Planning Commission or general public wants to discuss an item on the consent agenda, you must speak up after the consent agenda is read. Then that item is removed from the consent agenda and considered during the meeting. The Planning Commission then approves the remaining consent agenda items. Will staff please read the consent agenda?
Certainly. The first item on the consent agenda is the approval of the December 14th, 2023 meeting minutes. The second item under future land use map amendment and zoning map amendment for a pending annexation is Annex-2023-0027 for 2076 County Line Trail and 7 acres on County Line Trail. Request a recommendation on the assignment of the land use classification of Urban Edge Residential Small Lot, UER1, and the assignment of zoning of Planned Development District, PD, portions within the floodplain overlay district and the floodway overlay district for a pending annexation. The property is currently classified as neighborhood medium density and zoned M1 and PDD by Richland County. Case number 3 is a text amendment, TA-2024-0006, request to amend the Unified Development Ordinance, Chapter 17, Article 4, Use Regulations, to add minor utilities as a permitted use in the TC, Transitional Conservation District. Case number 4, under major site plan review, S-Plan-2021-0015 for 2222 Main Street. Request site plan approval for the construction of a 250-unit multifamily mixed-use building. The property is zoned CAC, OV-NMC. This is the Community Activity Center corridor within the North Main Corridor Design Overlay District. Case 5, major subdivision preliminary plat review, S-Plat 2023-0060, 34.67 acres on Percival Road near Spears Creek Church Road. Request preliminary plat approval for the construction of a 311-unit townhome subdivision, Astoria. The property is zoned RM1 Residential Mixed District. And that concludes the consent agenda.
Is there anyone from the Planning Commission or public that would like to have any item removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, do I have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda, subject to all conditions contained in the case summaries as well as the December 14 minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda in the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. We'll move on to the regular agenda. We will use the following outline for the regular agenda items. The administrator will introduce the case. The applicant will have 10 minutes to make a presentation. The Planning Commission may ask questions. The public comment period will be open to those present. The public comment period will be closed. The applicant will have 5 minutes to respond to public comments. Planning Commission may ask additional comments of the applicant, and deliberation and action by the Planning Commission will follow. The first case.
That's going to bring us to S-Plat 2023-0041, which is 13.57 acres on the west side of Trinity Drive, various tax maps. The proposed subdivision will contain 124 attached single-family residences, again on 13.57 acres. The single-family residences will contain approximately 1,300 square feet, and the average lot size will be 2,200 square feet. 2 off-street parking spaces will be provided for each townhome, and some of the property will be preserved as open space. This is the preliminary plat review, so in accordance with Section 17-2-2.5, the subdivision for the Unified Development Ordinance, a preliminary plat shall be approved upon a finding that the proposed preliminary plat is in substantial conformity with the approved sketch plan and complies with the standards of Section 6, the Land Development Subdivision Standards, and any other applicable standards of this ordinance and any other applicable city ordinances and regulation. The sketch plan letter, the sketch plan and the sketch plan letter was attached to the Planning Commission packet. And if the Planning Commission grants approval, we would request that the Planning Commission find that all the requirements of Section 17-2.5 listed above were met. And I believe the applicant is present and can explain their case.
Hey, good afternoon. Travis Bassnett with Hussey Gabel. We're the civil engineer for representing the owner. The owner's here as well to answer any questions, but I'll briefly go over everything. As Jonathan said, Trinity Subdivision's 124-unit townhome development. Those will be in blocks of 2 to 4 buildings shown on the screen and the preliminary plat that's here. If you remember, some of you I think were on the board for this, but late last year, these 3 parcels were annexed into the city of Columbia, which received approval through the Planning Commission. This is the same project. We have sketch plan approval. We've submitted to the city of Columbia for land disturbance, utilities, landscape, planning and zoning, and all of those. We received minor comments back, as well as submitted the DOT encroachment permit for the project. Nothing else should affect what you see before you. It's the exact copy, lot layout, road layout from the sketch plan that was previously approved. Just more detail for as we progress further along into design. Happy to answer any questions, and again, the owner is here as well to answer anything on that side. Thanks.
Any commissioners have any questions? I have one question for staff. This is the plan from the sketch plan?
Correct.
Okay. And it's the same plan?
It is, just with a little bit more detail.
Okay.
The sketch plan gives the applicant some minor feedback with regards to their plan to see whether or not it will work. And then once the sketch plan is approved, the preliminary plan goes into a lot more detail. So once this preliminary plat is approved, they should be able to go straight to construction.
Comments on commissioners? I would just put out I would probably support a motion in favor, but just request that it include reference in section 17-2.5 staff comments. Seeing no additional, is there anyone in the public that would like to speak for or against this? Seeing that, I'll be happy to consider a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve S-Plat 202300041 in accordance with Section 1725, application-specific review procedures and decision standards.
Second.
And is that with staff comments?
With staff comments,
Staff comments.
yes. Thank you.
Second again.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there additional business? I guess.
We do have one more thing to do this evening. We do have officer elections. So I did get some nominations from you guys. Hang on, I'll pass. So first, we'll just do a quick ballot for chair, and then, depending on how those turn out, we'll send a ballot for vice chair. So it looks like our chair for 2024 will be Mr. Cohn. Thank you for agreeing to serve in a leadership role again, and then I'll pass out the next ballot for vice chair. and Ms. Davis will be our vice chair for 2024. Thanks all. I think that's it. Unless y'all have anything else? Anybody? No? All right.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Second.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Assume everybody's in favor.